In 1492, a daring voyage led by Christopher Columbus, funded by the Spanish monarchs, set out to find a westward route to Asia. Instead, Columbus stumbled upon lands previously unknown to Europeans, marking the beginning of a new chapter in global history. This discovery would lead to the exchange of cultures, goods, and even diseases between the Old World and the New, reshaping civilizations and destinies. But let's embark on a speculative journey. Imagine a world where Columbus's ships never caught sight of the Americas' shores. What if the vast continents of North and South America remained hidden from European eyes for centuries longer? How would such a monumental shift, or lack thereof, have changed the course of history? How would nations, cultures, and global dynamics have evolved without this pivotal moment of discovery? In this episode, we'll dive deep into this alternate timeline, exploring the ripple effects of a world where Columbus's journey took a different turn, and the Americas remained a mystery to the European explorers of the Age of Discovery. The late 15th century was a time of change and ambition. Europe was emerging from the shadows of the Middle Ages, with kingdoms expanding their horizons, both intellectually and geographically. The Renaissance was in full swing, bringing with it a thirst for knowledge and discovery. Nations were on the lookout for faster trade routes, especially to the lucrative markets of Asia, leading to what we now call the Age of Exploration. At the heart of this era was Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer with a vision. Driven by tales of distant lands and the promise of wealth, Columbus sought a westward route to Asia. His ambitions were not just personal, they were intertwined with the aspirations of his backers, the Spanish monarchs Ferdinand and Isabella. They hoped to bypass the Ottoman-controlled routes to Asia, gaining a competitive edge in the race for spices, silk, and other valuable commodities. But as we know, Columbus's voyage didn't lead him to Asia. Instead, he found himself on the shores of the Americas. This discovery set off a chain of events that would reshape the world. The Columbian Exchange commenced, introducing Europe to crops like potatoes and maize, while the Americas encountered horses, sugarcane, and unfortunately, diseases like smallpox. The vast lands and the promise of gold led to a rush of European settlers, resulting in colonization on a massive scale. This new era brought about profound changes, but also led to the suffering and decline of the native populations as they faced diseases, conflicts, and cultural upheaval. In this context, Columbus's voyage was more than just a journey across the Atlantic. It was a catalyst that set the stage for centuries of exploration, conquest, and cultural exchange. In a world where Columbus's ships never graced the shores of the Americas, the trajectory of European exploration would likely have taken a different course. With the allure of the New World absent, European powers might have intensified their efforts to find alternate routes to Asia. The search for a passage through the treacherous Arctic or a direct route around Africa could have become the primary focus. Maritime innovations and naval technologies might have evolved differently, driven by the challenges of these alternate routes. Without European explorers and settlers arriving on their shores, the indigenous civilizations of the Americas would have continued to evolve on their own terms. The Aztecs, Incas, and countless other cultures might have seen golden ages, conflicts, and alliances, all without the shadow of European conquest. Their traditions, religions, and ways of life would remain unaltered by external influences, leading to a rich tapestry of cultures that developed in parallel but separate from the Old World. The absence of the New World's lure would also mean that the major colonial empires we associate with the Americas might never have risen to prominence in the region. The Spanish and Portuguese, driven by their quest for gold and territory, might have turned their ambitions towards Africa or Asia. The English and French, without the vast lands of North America beckoning, might have focused their colonial aspirations on other parts of the globe. This shift would not only change the fate of the Americas, but also create a domino effect, altering geopolitical dynamics, trade routes, and power balances across the world. In this alternate scenario, the global landscape is reshaped, with nations and cultures charting courses influenced by different challenges, opportunities, and encounters. In our quest to understand this alternate timeline, we've employed the power of artificial intelligence to simulate and predict the potential outcomes of a world without Columbus's monumental discovery. AI, with its vast computational capabilities, allows us to analyze and model complex historical data in ways previously unimaginable. To construct this alternate history, we began by feeding our AI systems with vast amounts of data from the 15th century onwards. This included economic records, cultural documents, trade patterns, and geopolitical treaties from that era. By understanding the world as it was, the AI could then extrapolate and predict how events might have unfolded differently. Our algorithms, specifically designed for historical simulations, took into account various factors. They considered the ambitions of European powers, the state of maritime technology, the dynamics of global trade, and the intricate web of relationships between nations. By processing this data, the AI could generate potential scenarios of European exploration and colonization in the absence of the Americas as a target. Furthermore, we incorporated anthropological and sociological data about the indigenous civilizations of the Americas. This allowed the AI to speculate on the potential growth, conflicts, and evolutions of these societies without European intervention. The result is a series of AI-generated predictions and scenarios, each offering a glimpse into a world shaped by different choices, opportunities, and encounters. While these simulations are speculative, they are grounded in data and offer a fascinating insight into the what-ifs of history. As we navigate through this alternate tapestry of history, it's intriguing to draw parallels with our contemporary world and ponder the lasting implications of those bygone events. The ripples of history touch every aspect of our lives, from the languages we speak to the borders of nations and even the food on our tables. Without the early European colonization of the Americas, our geopolitical landscape would likely be starkly different. The global superpowers of today might have risen from different corners of the world, influenced by the resources, alliances, and conflicts unique to this alternate timeline. The Americas, with their indigenous civilizations evolving without external intervention, might have emerged as powerful federations or empires, engaging with the rest of the world on their own terms. Cultural exchanges, too, would bear a different hue. The fusion of European, African, and indigenous American cultures, which gave birth to diverse languages, music, art, and traditions, might not exist in the same form. Instead, we might see a world with a richer tapestry of indigenous American cultures, each with its own distinct identity, influencing global art and thought. Economically, the absence of the vast wealth and resources that flowed from the Americas to Europe would have reshaped global trade dynamics. The centers of commerce and innovation might have shifted, with other regions rising to prominence due to their resources, strategic locations, or innovations. In essence, every facet of our modern world, from the political maps to cultural festivals and global trade routes, would carry the imprints of this alternate historical trajectory. It's a testament to the interconnectedness of events and decisions, where a single voyage, or the absence of it, can reshape the destiny of our global civilization. History is a complex web where every event, decision, and chance encounter can set off a cascade of consequences, often in ways we can't immediately perceive. This interconnectedness, often referred to as the butterfly effect, reminds us that even seemingly minor events can have profound impacts on the course of history. By exploring the scenario of Columbus, never discovering the Americas, we've journeyed through a world of possibilities, each shaped by the myriad choices and events of the past. As we close this chapter, we can't help but wonder about other pivotal moments in history and their potential alternate outcomes. Stay tuned, for in our next episode, we'll dive into another tantalizing what if that promises to reshape our understanding of the world. Can you guess what it might be? Thank you for joining us on this historical voyage with Histronauts. If you enjoyed this exploration, please give us a thumbs up, share with fellow history enthusiasts, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the annals of time. We're always eager to hear your thoughts. What-if scenarios have you always wondered about? Share your speculations, questions, and topic suggestions in the comments below. Together, let's continue our journey through the cosmos of history.